So far, they've relied on defense and made winning ugly fashionable. The Rams need to prove they can beat the best. Jared Goff and company have breezed through the NFC East, but starting tonight, they have the toughest remaining schedule in the NFL. We'll get into the game in a bit. First, the sounds of Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, it was one of the most remarkable plays I've ever seen. But DK had the angle. He just kept going, man. It was just an unbelievable play by him. I mean, just the effort. I really respect him for that.
And the first thing I said, to myself coming home, I said, you keep playing games like that, bro, and it's going to be a permanent change.
It sucks. It sucked. I don't know what else I'm supposed to feel.
Todd Gurley to the goal line. Touchdown!
I shouldn't have scored on that. I shouldn't have scored.
We speak all the time about playing for one another, protecting one another. Definitely, it was probably not the response that you would expect.
Cowboys lose to Washington 25-3. This has been on so many levels. What concerns you the most?
What concerns me about Dallas Cowboys football team, Susie, I don't really think they're a team. I don't really think that this football team is considered a team. There's too much finger pointing going on. There's yesterday taking through the play with Andy Dalton. You heard the head coach talking about the players are not playing for one another. What I'm used to, you hit my quarterback like that, Book, there's some type of tussling, some type of jerk. Somebody going to get yanked on or something. The referee's going to have to come in and break something up. It's sad to see Andy Dalton like that. Hopefully he's okay. But when I look at this Dallas Cowboys team, how they started out with Aldon Smith coming there, with the defense, the way he was rushing the passer, with the year that Dak Prescott was having, everything was going well for the Dallas Cowboys. Ever since Dak went down, there's a lot of finger pointing going on. So I really don't feel, Susie, that this Dallas Cowboy team, football team, is really considered a team right now.
And it was surprising to hear Mike McCarthy address that situation, even in the postgame. And Steve, and I know you guys, as players, you have expectations that your teammates are going to have your back. For example, take us back to 1994 in the divisional playoffs.
Well, you got a glimpse. Now, this is not individually to the players' hearts, but the collective heart. And you get a glimpse at their reaction. In 1994, we were playing the Bears in a playoff game. I go in to score, and I get hit late. And you can see, here's the flashback. And Sean Gale hits me. I'm in the end zone, and Sean Gale hits me late. And watch what happens. Watch the knee-jerk reaction. Not from me, but
there
look.
They come.
Look. You don't realize it, but everybody runs over. Everybody. Because there is a collective we. This is not about protecting the quarterback. It's about protecting the collective we. And it goes to the heart of the team, not the heart of the individuals. The Cowboy players individually all have heart. But as a group, they showed themselves to be a team that does not have it collectively. And it goes back to what we talked about when they replaced replaced Jason Garrett with Mike McCarthy. In the end, if you do not have autonomy as the head coach who walks into that team and speaks with authority and everyone believes it, you will get an underperforming team to its talent. And it's been generations now that we've seen this. And now it's devolved to a point where we say to ourselves, what in the world are we going to do about this? And if I was Mike McCarthy, I would demand a statement from Jerry Jones. You are now completely in control. I give you complete autonomy. I don't want anyone coming to me about any issues. That's the only way he's going to get a handle on this team. He's asking the team when he says after the game, where were you guys? They knocked your quarterback out. Yeah. Where were you? They're not listening to you, Coach.
Well, I mean, if that's what you're waiting on in Dallas, Steve, that's never going to happen. I think with Jerry and Stephen Jones, they pride themselves not only on being the ownership of the team, but being the GM and everything out there. No coach is going to come in there and get autonomy. That's the reason why we're in the situation we're in now. Mike McCarthy may have been a good coach in the past, but the job of a coach is to connect with your players. It doesn't matter what kind of coach you are. I played for Tony Dungy. He was not a screamer. Very spiritual man. He connected with us. I played for John Gruden. Rah-rah guy. He connected with his team. So different coaches can connect with players different ways. Mike McCarthy has not connected with this team. They don't connect with him. A lot of finger pointing, a lot of anonymous sources coming out of the locker room. And the play that you spoke of where Andy Dalton gets hit by Jon Bostic, by the way, that's a dirty play. He should be suspended for a game. Let's say that. If I was on that team, you hit my quarterback that way, I'm coming off the bench And I'm coming here too. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Right.
We got to protect our quarterback.
Yeah.
But the fact that nobody came, the fact that nobody said anything speaks to a team issue. That's not just on the coaches. That's inside the locker room. Because the coaches don't come in the locker room. They don't come in there. They got other issues. Coaches, yeah, we know that. But inside that locker room, to your point, Randy, there's no team chemistry. There's no team camaraderie. That's the word we're looking for.
Yeah.
There's no I got your back, you got my back. There's none of that going on in Dallas. So Dallas's problems are bigger than just Mike Nolan. Their problems are bigger than just Jerry Jones. There's an organizational issue starting from the top, coming all the way down with structure, how we draft the players, what we do, how we pick them, how we choose the coach. Because Mike McCarthy may have been a good coach, but he's not connecting with that team right now.
See, here's the thing. When they go to hire the head coach, you have no problem with Mike McCarthy. I think he's a good football coach.
Yeah.
But they had the same head coach for 10 years, Jason Garrett, and he was hired from within the system.
Mm-hmm.
Every couple of years, 2, 3, 4 years in the NFL, most teams are embarking on these extensive head coaching searches where the GMs, the presidents, the executives, they're away for their families for 2 weeks because they're interviewing 9, 10 candidates. There were a lot of great people out there, a lot of great coaches. Could have talked to Matt Rule, could have talked to Eric Bieniemy, could have talked to Lincoln Riley, could have talked to a lot of different people. They spoke to two people, Mike McCarthy and Marvin Lewis, and they hired Mike McCarthy. And in the end, so far, right now, it seems like there's a disconnect.
Yeah.
And you know what? Just the contrast of we were talking to Cowboys and Cowboys players last week, and this week, Rams coaches and Rams players. Both sides brought in new defensive coordinators and established new defensive systems. But the Rams are really comfortable and playing well. And the Cowboys are not. And you just kind of wonder, like, how things went down, you know, virtually and installing a system and getting to know players and all of that.
Well, and I'll say this, and it's come undone the last couple of weeks, which to me goes back to show you how important Dak Prescott is and was, how much glue he was to that franchise. If he didn't get hurt in that game, would they have lost last week at home to Arizona? I'll bet not. Would they have lost yesterday to Washington? I'll bet not. Would we be having these conversations? I'll bet not. So there's the value of Dak right there.
Okay, all right. Let's dive into tonight's game and the showcase of dominant defenders. 3-time All-Pro linebacker Khalil Mack and 5-time All-Pro defensive tackle Aaron Donald. Together, they've won 3 of the last 4 Defensive Player of the Year awards.
On the field, I'm just a whole different person, turned into a monster.
Do you have to repress feelings of kind of vindictiveness?
Vindictiveness, I like that word.
Are you ready?
Khalil Mack with the sack.
You say you ready?
Stop it. He's a machine. He is unbelievable.
Are you ready? Ready? Is you ready? Whole squad ready?
Yeah, no, he's as tough as it gets to game plan for.
Next thing you know, he jumps out like Superman. He's just like sprawling and like trying to tackle you from behind.
Obviously, a little baptism by fire with Aaron Donald. I didn't think he was going to jump on my back.
Aaron Donald rips him to the turf. He's sacked. Ball comes out. Aaron Donald knocked it loose. If there's a quarterback with the ball, he's got to find him this year.
I'm going to the top.
Well, Donald may be a little edgier tonight than usual. He called the Rams' performance against the Niners last week soft and said he can't wait to get back at it in another primetime game to show everyone what they are really all about. And beyond that, I asked him if there's even another gear tonight with Mack on the other side, and he said he honestly doesn't pay attention to comparisons, adding, every week I want to dominate, have the type of game that everyone's talking about. Well, funny he should say that because Donald's rare talent has even the greats singing his praises. Here's Michelle Beisner-Buck.
When I say the name Aaron Donald, what are a couple words that come to mind?